10 weeks out and it's time to change things up. A big build block has been completed along with a down week. It's time to lock in for the final 10-week push towards Abingdon Marathon and start to turn things up a notch. So welcome back to another full week of training, and we've got a good one this week. Although my specific phase starts 8 weeks out, and you will see some of those specific workouts come into play when that happens, what you'll notice starting this week is some of those rep lengths start to increase as we get prepared for those marathon sessions. Not to mention the fact that we have heatwave round 2 this week. It's going to be 32 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be hot. So we're kick-starting today with a session. We're moving things around. So just before the serious work begins and we're out there on the concrete getting this workout done, which today is 3x3k, what is the approach for the next 2 weeks before we get specific? Well, I've had good success with a recent double threshold block. That's what I was doing in the build up to this last down week. And I was also splicing in a little bit of single threshold work as well. I've been really curious about the whole Norwegian single threshold work myself, doing a lot of research on it, kind of trying to implement it in that previous block as well alongside the double threshold work. And I've got to be honest with you, that last block has got me into really good shape. Heart rate's very low, feeling very good. So I'm going to be continuing that for the next 2 weeks. Double threshold is out, single threshold is in, and I'm just going to be doing some standard threshold work for the next couple of weeks, and that is going to continue right through to Abingdon alongside some marathon specific work as and when we get to that point. And so Norwegian single threshold work basically consists of 3k reps, 2k reps and 1k reps, which is very similar to what I've been doing anyway, which is why I want to keep it going. The difference is now moving away from double threshold into single threshold work is I'm no longer going to be working in and around my LT1 area, which is slightly slower than marathon effort. And basically 3k reps, you work at 30k race pace, and there's a pace calculator you can use to work all of this out if you get stuck or fancy trying it. So I've been given my paces, and then the 2k reps are around half marathon effort or pace, and then the 1k reps are around your 15k pace, or you can do it in time, which are 10-minute intervals, 6-minute intervals and 3-minute intervals. And so from those pace ranges, it's quite a wide range that you get given. For me, I'm looking for in the 3k reps today, throughout the duration of the block, somewhere around 5:45 to 5:55 per mile, half marathon 5:35 to 5:45, and then the 1k reps 5:25 to 5:35. At the moment, like I said at the beginning of the last block, we do not move the needle, we let the needle move when it's ready, and I'm anticipating today just to go out there and get these 3k reps done in and around the low 550s. So that's enough for the intro. Let's get into this first workout. There we go, 5:57, a bit slower than I thought, but it's hot. And I didn't run much last week, so actually it's pretty good. I'll take it on to 2. So 1 and 3 are going to be net downhill, 2 is going to be up. So I do expect this one to be slower, and if it's not, that means I've had to work a little bit harder to maintain the effort. There we go, 5:54. I did work a bit harder on that one, but good, very happy. So there we go, 5:53. So it seemed like the first one was a bit of a warm-up, 2 and 3 were locked in, feeling really good. Gonna have to stop it there though, no cool down today. Massive stomach issues. Classic roast dinner Sunday. is not enjoying that session out there today. So gonna walk it home, so we'll lose a couple of miles off today, but the work is banked and I'll see you tomorrow. So welcome to Tuesday, easy double today. So as I mentioned yesterday, swap the session around, 32 degrees today, although it doesn't feel like it yet. I am out relatively early, got out at 7:40. It's just humid, rain last night, air is thick, sweating a lot, but it's not that burning 32-degree heat. I think that'll happen as the day heats up today, and I'll find that out on my evening run. And despite the stomach issues yesterday, really happy with how that went and feeling good too. Really felt last night like I hadn't even run. Such a difference going from like the first session of the week being a double threshold, 20k worth of threshold in a day, 22-23 mile days sometimes, to a 9-mile threshold workout. I just felt like last night I hadn't even run, which is obviously a really encouraging sign, and I felt like today I could go out and session again, which is good, a good sign. That's the whole idea. I don't want to be cooking myself, and that's not the purpose of these the single threshold approach. So we roll on, we'll get today done. 80 minutes nice and easy out here on the trails, keeping it relaxed, although heart rate's a bit high just because of how humid it is. Otherwise, gonna keep it chilled. See you tonight. All right, so welcome to the evening. This week we have James and not Lee.
Hello, I'm James, not Lee.
We are getting 60 minutes done. So this morning was, after I finished recording, it was vile and humid. Tonight is a bit cooler, but still very warm. So it is skins tonight. I won't keep you too long. There's something moving down in there. We'll keep walking, we'll keep running. And yeah, just gonna bank this one. Got a big sesh tomorrow morning. So we'll get some solid easy miles done now. I'll see you tomorrow. So after yesterday's easy double, we are out here today on Wednesday for the second session of the week, and that is 10 by a K. And if I'm honest, I wish I'd done it yesterday. Not that you should, however, I don't feel particularly great today. Just the turnaround from last night's easy run. Didn't get in until 8:20. Ate as much as I could without upsetting the stomach. Went to bed. I've woken up early this morning. It's before 7 o'clock. It is in fact 6:58. And I've rammed as much porridge down my throat as I can, had a gel, had a ketone IQ shot for the caffeine, and I've even got the Pumas on for the little extra help that I might get from them. We're going to roll into this one, 10 by K off 60 seconds. Pace target, I think I mentioned it in the Monday section, 5:35 to 5:25. No pressure on that though. I'll take a couple of reps to warm into this, I think. Might hit that by rep 4 or 5. Let's just get on with it. Right, 4 done. The humidity might finish me off. I'm hitting the slower end of the pace range, low to mid 5:30s. So I'm surprised I'm hitting that, to be honest. I'm just about balancing, not going too hard so that I blow, because this is honestly energy sapping. Eight done, 2 to go, still hanging in that lower end, but I'm still in the right pace zone. It is This is harder than when I was doing 10 by K after 5 by 2K in the morning when I was double T'ing. This is, honest to God, I've lost half my body weight in water. Brutal. So there we go, got it done. I'll thank myself for that on race day. I am hating myself for it right now. That was honestly so damn hard. Now I can't remember what the first rep was. I think it was 5:36, 5:37, 5:38ish, I can't remember. But I remember clocking that over going, that's the fastest first K rep I've done out of any K rep session this year. And I've been doing my double threshold. And then logic kicks in and goes, well, that's because you're fresher. You haven't done 5 by 2K in the morning. And you're like, of course. But that is as good as it got. I did not cut it down. I did not get into the 520s like I have before. And honestly, my heart rate today was disgustingly high. I am saturated from head to toe. And that was a fight, I'm not gonna lie. I stayed in the prescribed range that I was supposed to, and you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I probably could have done maybe a couple more at a push, which is what you want to feel, but I will not lie and say I was walking that fine line that if I'd have tried to have kicked those down at any point, I think one faster rep in the 520s and then the rest of them would have just blown. So I feel good that I held strong on the effort, but I got it done. That's all that matters. I'm going to rest and recover now, and I'll see you for the next one. So let's get rolling into Friday. So easy run today. I'm just going to do 60 minutes and some strides, hopefully. Strides aren't part of the Norwegian singles method, but as someone that runs their cadence, runs their easy runs with a cadence of sometimes sub 160, which it has been lately, I feel very ploddy. I need the strides, so we're throwing those in today, and then we'll get our final session done tomorrow. I've made some strategic calls this week with regards to the days that I'm running. Took a rest day yesterday. I usually take a rest day in the week just because it's easier to get one big working day in, and that ended up being yesterday. And then of course summer holidays, kids activities, so I like to get up early on those big working days, get a really long shift in, and that's kind of why I take a rest day in the week. It allows me to catch up on some of the hours that I've missed on the other days when I've got out for a run, got back late, and then got back into the office. So Thursday was that nominated day, and we'll be sessioning Monday, Wednesday and Saturday this week. So normally it should be, you know, easy sesh, easy sesh, easy sesh. Just having to space it out between session 2 and 3 this week, just because of the way it is. Plus, as I said, it's summer holiday, so I've got to be a bit adaptable. And although it hasn't officially been announced yet, you'll see that in a couple of weeks' time. I'm delighted to be partnering with Say Sky on the final 8 weeks of this training series. They're going to be supporting me in my journey. So this isn't an official ad section. This isn't a sponsor video, but I will say that this discount code is already live. So if you want to use it, please get cracking. I'll talk about it more, as I said, in not next week's episode, but the week after, as we look into the final 8 weeks. But they said to me, if you want to start sharing it early, you can. So crack on, 15% off Say Sky kit. Delighted to have them on board again for Abingdon. So here we go, it is Saturday, you little tinkers. Let's wrap this one up. I am high on sugar and a bit crazy today, so we'll see how this one goes. Had a monster bowl of porridge this morning, experimenting with bigger breakfasts so that I can have more on race day, because I'm very to the T on race day about how much I have, and I don't just think it's a lack of poor fueling on the course itself that causes my bonking issues. I think I could probably handle, as a bigger guy, a lot more breakfast. So I'm feeling very alive this morning. So we're going to roll straight into it, 6 by 2K. But we're wrapping this one up within the long run. So I'm trying to put 5 miles before and 5 after. We'll see, I might tag a bit more on before actually, just to build a bit more fatigue. And so pace goals for today, well, if you follow the channel, 5 by 2K has been bread and butter for my last 9 weeks double threshold. Difference is they will run around 6 to 6:10 per mile, whereas today we're trying to run about 15 seconds per mile quicker, 5:40. I think I targeted 5:35 to 5:45. So as this week has pretty much been at the lower end or the slower end of the pace targets, today will be the same, somewhere hopefully in the 5:40s. And I am going to be doing this on the industrial estate today, so I am not going to be doing it on the cycle track with Mount Everest. However, one slight problem: it is very windy today. Not only is it hot and humid, but it is really windy. So I think we're going to be having some fast reps one way and slow reps the other. Right, just come up to 40 minutes, which means it is second gel time with the caffeine. So it's going to be around 5.75 miles, and we kick into this just coming up to the end of the industrial estate now. And I'm going to hit lap, and we're going to go down here. Go. First two done. Okay, it's tough. Four done. Just no words. It's hot and windy. So there we go, we got it done. A little bit sore in the gluteus maximus, but wow, very happy with that. That was the hardest of the week. The heat, the humidity today, it really broke me down. That first rep was like, it felt so good, and then I realised it was a tailwind. But then as I approached the end of that rep, the wind just whipped around and hit me in the face for the last 400. Thank you. Turned around the other way, and it was a headwind, and then it changed, and it was just all over the shop. So I couldn't guarantee a headwind tailwind rep, but actually the paces were all either 5:41 to 5:44, which is such a tight range to go from both ends. So I'm really happy. That was really solid. So we go, another one sunk. So once again, fueling strategy today was 1:20 minutes before the run, then one at 20 minutes, normal, CAF 40, normal 60, CAF 80. That one was 100. And the plan today is to run for 2 hours 10. So just need to step it up. So I'll take another one. I've got one more at 2 hours. That's 150 grams of carbs already on the run now. I'll see if I can push my luck and get another one on for 180. I know we're running at obviously an easier pace, so it's easier to take them on. But yeah, fueling's going really well. Number 6. So there we go, mission accomplished on every single front. 6 gels sunk, 300 milligrams of water smashed, and over 2 hours run. 2 hours, 2 minutes, 54:55. Now today was quite an important day, to be honest with you, because although we've had a good first week of doing the single threshold approach and we've nailed every workout, hit all the paces where we've needed to, which I feel very good about, volume is a bit less, having to cut out a run for the next 3 weeks in the summer holidays just so that I'm a bit more present, and then we'll add that one in. But 3 weeks ago I did a long run video and basically explained that 12 weeks out I've only got 8 quality long runs to squeeze in, and what that basically meant was 12 weeks out I had that long run, and then I had another one I think, and then I had holiday last week so I missed that one. I got a half marathon which I'll do a mini taper for, so I have a down week so I won't get a long run in there, and of course a 2-week taper. 2 weeks out I get a decent volume long run in, but intensity will be low, and at that point it doesn't pay too much impact on the marathon. So really, as of this weekend, including today, I have 6 weeks to get 6 decent hard long runs in. And so I set out today with a mission of 2 hours 10, and halfway through those intervals I thought it's never going to happen. I did 40 minutes loop out, started the rep, but I intentionally made sure I finished back at my start point so the momentum carried me forward when I finished to start the loop in reverse, and I have done it. And so that means I will succeed in getting a 2 hour 10-minute long run. I have not checked the distance. I'm going to hit stop on the watch and see how much distance I've covered. I have a feeling it's going to be just shy of 20 because the warm up and cool down hasn't been as steady as I usually make it. I've just backed off a bit because of the heat and I wanted to execute the reps well. Grateful I did that, but I think it's going to be around 19.5 miles. We'll see. We're about 4 minutes away. So wrap it here, guys. I'll put the stats on the screen now so you'll know before I do. And yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking around for this one. It means a lot. Thanks for following the journey to Abingdon. As I said, appreciate Say Sky support. Don't forget to use that discount code. Get using it if you want to. They're going to officially start supporting the series in a couple of weeks' time. And all that's left for me to say is thanks for following this week's episode. I'll see you next week for another one. And if you enjoy today, check out this one up here. This is one where I talked about injury prevention. Or check out this one down here where we went through last week's training if you haven't seen that one. And I see you guys over on one of those.